Hello, everyone. It is Sunday and it is time for the book club. Now, last week we read, well, the week before we read from the intro all the way through chapter 4. This week we have read chapter 5 through chapter 7. So let's talk about it. Now, the key points that I got from chapter 5 is that we must identify the enemies, the hurdles to winning. What that basically means is that, well, for me, what it means is that you have to recognize what is stopping you from winning, what is keeping you from being able to do the things that you want to do, whenever you want to do it, how you want to do it, and different things like that. The next point that I got is the first hurdle is ignorance. Ignorance is not a lack of intelligence, it is a lack of know how. And I can speak from firsthand experience with that because that's something that I'm personally dealing with in my life now. It's like I know what I want to do. I know so many things that I want to do and everything like that. I just need to know how to make it happen. That's why I'm on this journey of personal development and growth and all of that. So that way I can know how to connect the dots. No one is born with the knowledge of how to handle money, but we aren't taught that. So it's like, you know how you're a baby, you're born. You don't know how to walk as soon as you come out of the womb. You have to learn how to walk and gradually start taking steps and gradually start doing anything. The same way comes to our financial education. The same thing goes towards us learning how to use our money, learning how to invest our money, learning how to do the things that we need to in order to be successful with our money and to have more leeway with our money. The next point is that what you don't know about money will make you broke and keep you broke. So it's like, you know how people say what you don't know won't hurt you? Okay, I get that in certain instances, but in the instance of financials and your financial ability, what you don't know will hurt you. So it's like if you don't know how to budget, if you don't know how to manage your money and different things like that, then basically you're just spinning your wheels. You're just spinning your wheels, consistently going through the process, just going through until you actually start taking the initiative to actually learn how to manage your money, what to do with your money, and different things like that. Then you will start noticing, like, okay, so I can take care of this, and then I can still have this money to be able to save or to invest and to be able to do the things that I want to do. So that's why it's important to educate yourself on the things of money. The second hurdle is keeping up with the Joneses. We all know about that, trying to keep up with the trends, keeping up with everything that's going on and everything like that. You know, you got to look good and feel good and all of that. Yes, you do got to do that. But at the same time, not at the expense where you're living beyond your means, not at the expense where you're consistently depleting all of your finances, depleting all your savings. So whenever a life emergency comes up, then it's like, dang, I wish I could do that, but I can't do it. Or a great opportunity comes around and it's like, dang, I wish I could really, that is a really great opportunity. And I really wish that I could be able to invest in it, but I don't have the money to invest. So the typical millionaire finds more motivation from the goal of financial security than from what friends and family think. So, whenever it comes to your financial education, the things that you want to do with your finances, you can't worry about what other people are saying, what other people are thinking, how you look to other people. Because let's be honest, people that aren't on the same journey as you, people that aren't with expanding their mind frame and different stuff like that, they're not going to understand what it is that you're trying to do. They're not going to understand that you're educating yourself and you have to take these certain steps. You have to take a step back from doing certain things so that way you can allow more room for growth in your finances and then you can step back to doing this later. Like they're not going to understand that. They'll just think like, oh, she crazy. She crazy. He crazy. Why? Who do they think they are trying to do it this way and blah, 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 blah. But you can't worry about what other people think because what other people think don't pay your bills in the first place. Next point. If you want to be in a different place, you must believe and do things differently. That goes back to the point of you have to be the change that you want to see because you can't expect to continue to do things the same way over and over and over because and expect it to change. Because if you're not liking the way things are going right now and you continuously do things the same way that you've been doing them, you're still not going to like the way things are going. Like, that's just common sense. Like, if you want something to change, you have to change it. Now, the takeaway that I got from chapter 5 is that you must be aware of what you don't know or haven't acted on and be willing to learn and or do said things. Now, don't worry about the opinions of others because your focus should be on making you and your family's life better. Chapter 6, the takeaway, well, I ain't even at the takeaway point, but the points from chapter 6. You can get anywhere if you simply go one step at a time. Like you can't immediately go from start to finish. You can't do that. You're going to have to take steps to be able to get towards the finish line. So if you can just take one step at a time, make one change at a time, implement one thing that you've learned at a time, then eventually you're going to get to the place where you want to be. Next point, find something to do and do that with vigor until it is complete. Then move on to the next step. Now, the definition of vigor is effort, energy, and enthusiasm. So what you have to do is find something that you need to do, an action that you need to take, and you need to do that with every effort, every fiber of your being before moving on to the next step. Next point, you must set up a written budget monthly. You have to tell the money what to do or it leaves. So basically, you have to sit and you have to budget, which I just started. I just started sitting down making a budget like last night to be able to map out all of my finances. And the thing that I found is that whenever you're actually sitting down making a budget and creating a budget, you can see exactly where your money is going, where it needs to go, and be able to know exactly what you can do within this time frame, what you can't do, know how to save, and different things like that. Now, Zig Ziglar once said that if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. If you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. What that means is that if you're not going towards anything, if you're not aiming for nothing, you're just out here spinning your wheels, going through whatever. Okay, you won't get anywhere. You won't get anywhere. You won't attain anything or anything. But if you have a goal and you have something that you're intentional on and that you're focusing on and that you're aiming for, then you will hit it. You will find ways to take the necessary steps that you need in order to hit it. Next step, zero-based budget. You have to create a zero-based budget, basically giving every dollar a name before the month begins. Never do anything with the money that is not on the budget. You must stick to the budget. If something comes up that causes the budget to need changing, you must still balance your budget. For example, if you increase a spending in an area by $50, you must decrease a spending somewhere else by $50 so that your income minus outgoing still equals zero. So basically, you have to account for all of your money. And if you have money allocated for, like, let's say, like groceries or something, like, and then you have to put an extra $20 towards groceries, you're going to have to take another $20 away from somewhere else. That way you can still be balanced out with your budget. And you have to be current with all your creditors. Now we start getting into the baby steps. And the baby step number one is that you must save $1,000 as a starter emergency fund. The reason for that is because you need an emergency fund. And the goal is to try hitting this step in less than a month. When you get the 1K, hide it so you don't spend it, because we all know, like, if we see the money, then be like, dang, I sure can go get that new pair of shoes. I sure can go get that. But if you put that money to the side where it's like out of sight, out of mind, then just whenever something comes up, like, oh my gosh, my car just broke down and I need to go get it fixed, but I don't get paid until woo. So then you have that emergency fund to be able to take that money, use it for that emergency, and then put it back whenever you just put it right back. Now, if something happens while you're on another step, you have to spend some time. You have to spend some of the emergency fund. Then you have to return back to step one until you're back at $1,000, then return to the step that you were on. So let's say going through these steps, you're like on step two. You're working on step two, tackling the things on step two, but then an emergency comes up and you have to spend some of that money out of your emergency fund. Okay, so then you have to go back to step one, pause step two for the time being, go back to step one, so that way you can build that emergency fund back up to what it's supposed to be, and then you can proceed and return back to the step that you were at. Hope that makes sense. Um, and the reason for that is just so that way you can always make sure that you're having an emergency fund. Because if you're spending that emergency fund money and then you're still continuing on the steps, then it's like another emergency comes up. Then it's like, dang, after a while, you've been depleted that emergency fund. And then you're going to be back using credit cards, back getting in debt and all of that stuff. And the key to the total money makeover is to get out of debt, to be able to be more fiscally able to be able to do and invest in the things that you want to invest in. Now, me taking on these steps, I'm going through all of this reading. And once I get done reading, my goal is to begin the steps, because I don't like just trying to do something and then just do it and learn it. Even though that's how life works. Like, you basically build the ladder on your way up. That's something that I like to say, that I'm climbing the ladder and building it on my way up. But with things like this, I like to get all of the steps, all of the information in order. So that way I can know the direction that I need to be going and the things that I need to be taking and the tasks that I need to be doing. Now, I didn't write a takeaway for that chapter, but we're moving on to chapter 7. Chapter 7, the points that I got is that your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. Until you get control and full use of your income to build wealth, you will not build and keep wealth. What that means to me is that at the end of the day, you gotta have money to make money, period. However you want to look at it or whatever, you got to have money to make money. If you don't have no money to be able to put into something to invest, let's say you want to start this business, you want to have these products, okay. But you also have to spend money to be able to invest in them products. You have to spend money to be able to invest in your brand, to be able to invest in all of the things that you want to invest in to set yourself up in the way that you want to be set up. So it takes money to make money. And without that, then it's like, dang, man, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? So then you're out here grasping at straws, like how to do this with no money, how to do that. I mean, it's not saying that it can't be done, but you have a more powerful tool if you have some money behind you, because then you're able to put that money into it and see the return. Now, Albert Einstein once said, great spirits have often encountered violent opposition from weak minds. What that means is that you have to be mindful of who you talk to. The small minded people aren't going to understand what you're doing. They're not going to understand what you're working on. They're not going to understand how you have to take these necessary steps. They'll just be questioning you every step of the way. Like, well, why are you doing that way? How you doing that way? Why you doing this? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know why she doing that no way. Blah, 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 blah. But it's just like, at the end of the day, you can't allow that to affect you. You have to have a strong bond, and you have to put yourself around like-minded individuals, because weak-minded people will just allow you to be any type of way. I see I have a guest. I will get to you. I just have to get through the rest of this reading of my points for chapter 7, and then I'll let you speak. So the next baby step 2, is to start the debt snowball. What this is that you have to list all your debts in order from the smallest payoff balance to the largest payoff balance. And then you have to pay the minimum payment to stay current on all the debts except the smallest ones. So basically what this is going to be is basically tackling your debt. So that way you can start crossing the things off your list one at a time. Like, you got this small one right here. You cross that off, then you're able to start working on the next one, start working on the next one, start working on the next one, and then eventually you'll be done. Now, you have to say this to yourself and mean it. To the exclusion of virtually everything else, I'm getting out of debt. To the exclusion of virtually everything else, I'm getting out of debt. You have to have focus intensity because that will cause something to happen, and it is required to win. So you have to be focused. If you're not focused on anything, then your mind can just be wherever. You could just be on whatever. Like, somebody can come along and you'll just be swayed with the wind. You have to be focused on whatever it is that you want to be focused on. Now, you have to know where you are going and where you're not going, or you will never get there. You have to stop borrowing. Stop borrowing money. Make up in your mind that you're going to stop borrowing money, because you're going to set yourself up in a position where you don't have to borrow money. You have to get radical to get the money flowing again. Like, let's say you hit a bump in the road. Like, you can't find no other room in your budget to be able to save or anything like that. You have to start thinking outside of the box. What are things that you can do? Can you sell some things in a yard sale? Can you take some things to the pawn shop? Can you get rid of some things? Can you work on, like, do some Uber on the side or different things like that? You just have to get radical with those things. And more income will also break up your little that little moment of hesitation, that moment where you're stuck in a rut. Even if you got to work a couple more hours a week to be able to bring that in, so that way you could take care of the things that you need to take care of. And finally, my takeaway for chapter 7 is that you must take care of your debt to not only put your mind at ease, but to also free up your income. Once your income is freed up, you will have the ability to do more. All right. That's all my takeaway. I have a guest that is waiting to speak, Bud Russian, and I'm going to pull him up. One moment. Our guest is coming in now.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you doing? I listened to everything you said. Like I'm in a predicament like that, and I'm stuck in a rut, and I don't know what to do. I'm trying to find a way to just free up my time to get more money and stuff like that. It's just hard for me right now. I have a family, I have 2 kids, and it's just rough. There's a lot of things coming up, and I just don't know where to start, and how to start.
Right. And that happens. That happens a lot in all of our lives. I'm a single mother of 3 kids. And so believe me when I say, like, I definitely understand. It's just, you got to sit back and you got to brainstorm. Have you a brainstorming session sometime, like with yourself, on trying to think of different things that you could do, different ways. Of course,
Yeah, I
believe
try
me,
to do that also, and when I do it, it's just sometimes I get overwhelmed with it, and it's just I don't I get frustrated a lot.
yeah, it does get frustrating, but you can't allow that frustration to keep you from being able to figure it out, because as long as you continue to try to figure it out, then eventually that answer is going to come to you. And whenever that answer comes to you, then you're going to be like, dang, why I didn't think of that before?
Right. Of course. Yeah, and another thing, I don't mean having excuses or anything. Like I just came home from prison, and it's kind of hard. Like being out this this whatever this the pandemic thing. Somebody's start trying to give me a job. So, and my baby mom, she's not trying to like work with me at all. She just say I'm not trying to do anything. I don't know. I'm trying my hardest, but like you said, I just got to keep pushing and keep motivating myself.
Right. You have to, because every you want other people to be able to motivate you, but at the end of the day,
Right. That's what it
have
is.
that to be dependent on that, because
Right. That's my main
people
thing.
are guaranteed to motivate you. Like you said, your baby mom, she think you're not trying to do anything, even though you're trying, and different things like that. So you have to be able to motivate yourself. Look yourself in the mirror every day, like, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out and I'm gonna do it.
That's whew. Yeah. That's one way. I do that all the time. And sometimes I try to get these jobs. I don't have no transportation or anything. I'm making it by day basis, but it's not where I want to be at. It's still a daily struggle.
Right, but you have to start from somewhere. At least
Right.
you're not doing nothing, because some people are doing nothing and then they expect to get results, but at least you're
Right.
trying to do something. So
Yeah.
then eventually somebody will see you trying, and somebody will see you doing something, like, you know what, I'll give you a chance. Like, you just have to start somewhere.
Right.
It's all
Right.
about getting started, because the only thing that's guaranteed to you is failure if you quit. That's the only thing.
Right. That's guaranteed. You sure is right. Sure is right about that. Well, I've been listening to you for a while now. I was like, this is amazing. I just started doing this wisdom thing, and it's teaching me a lot. I'm learning a lot from this, and your speaking was like right towards me. I'm like, oh man, this is what I needed. So
Yeah,
you helped me out a lot. I listened to everything you said. It's some things I wasn't doing, and some things I have to do that I heard you say. So I've just got to get on to it.
yeah, you definitely just got to start from somewhere. This is I'm on here every Sunday for my book
Every
club. The book
okay,
that we're
every
currently,
Sunday.
yeah, every Sunday at 7 p.m. The book
Okay,
that we're currently reading is The Total Money Makeover by
okay,
Dave Ramsey.
okay.
Um, I can't post no like link or anything in
Don't
here,
worry about it.
but
Don't worry. I'll just try to catch you every Sunday at 7 o'clock.
I mean, you can go to my website www.IamMoett.us, click
Okay,
on book and then that's normally where I post like the replays and everything. And also, um, I have a focus group on Facebook where I have the link for the book where you're able
okay,
to download and read it for free.
okay. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I will do that right now.
All right. Well, definitely thank you for coming up and speaking and everything. And I
Yeah, it
pray
took
and
a
I hope
lot. I never did nothing like this. This is my first time, so yeah, it took a lot.
it's all right. You just got to step out of there, step out your
Yeah,
comfort zone,
right.
think
Thank you. Thank you.
Think outside of the box. It'll work out. It'll all work out. It may
Thank
take
you.
some time, but as long as you don't give up and you keep applying yourself, you keep educating yourself, you keep elevating, then it will happen.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your help and your time.
All right. Well, thank you for coming up and speaking. You
No
have a
problem.
wonderful
You too. Thanks.
night.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I don't got nobody else that's up here that want to speak, but definitely that was great. That was great. You guys have to stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Motivate yourself, even if ain't nobody else motivating you. That's the key takeaway from that because we face so much opposition in this world. We face so many things, so many negative outside influence, but you can't be the opposition to yourself. What Les Brown said, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can't get to you. If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can't get to you. So that all starts with your mindset. That starts with your mindset. That starts with the way you think and talk to yourself. Because if you're saying negative things to yourself, like, dang, I ain't gonna never make it. Dang, how am I be able to do that? Dang, blah, 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 blah. Like, if you're continuously having a negative conversation with yourself, then you're gonna continue not getting good results. You have to change your mindset. Start speaking positive to yourself. Even if the situation looks like it's whatever, if it looks like it's not going to happen, it's not going to work. Like you have to speak to yourself and speak life into your own situation and change your mindset. The more you elevate your mindset and you encourage yourself, then everything else will start aligning. That also comes with the people that you associate yourself with. If you're constantly talking to people and dealing with people that are constantly putting you down and different things like that, get rid of those people. Stop having conversations with those people. It doesn't matter who they are. Stop having conversations with those people because you see that you can't reason with them and you see that they're going to constantly be negative even if you're trying to be positive but anyway, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. I might talk about it on YouTube tomorrow, but right now, definitely, if you're just tuning in, I'm about to finish up here. If you would like to be a part of the book club, definitely just go to my website, www.IamMoett.us. Sign up. Every time I make a post on there, it'll post. You can also go to my Instagram, I am Moett, IamMoett. Click the link in my bio, scroll all the way down, and click the link to join my focus group on Facebook. And that's where I have the link posted for you to be able to get the Total Money Makeover free. I will be posting every book that I read for the book club. It will be posted there at the start of the book club for you to download and read free. So definitely this week, we finished up through chapter 7. This upcoming week, we're going to be reading chapters 8 through, what did I say? 8 through 11. We're going to read chapters 8 through 11 this week. So definitely, I pray you guys have a wonderful and amazing week. Don't let anyone steal your joy. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it because you absolutely can do whatever it is that you put your mind to, whatever it is that you put your focus on. And remember that life is too short to be anything but motivated. Now get out there and turn your dreams into a vision and make that your reality. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.